Senator Cameron has got another question in cross-portfolio, and then we will move to outcome one.
Yeah, thanks. Minister, you're well known for making assertions without any proof, and you did it again this morning in relation to the ACTU secretary. You said that she was there for the raid. Who provided you that advice?
That is not what I stated. I said the Labor Party may wish to explain why ACTU boss Sally McManus was at the raid in Melbourne at the AWU's offices. I saw it on the television.
Are you saying that she was there before the raid?
No, I stated that they may wish to explain.
Well, maybe you should
clarify
these things before you just
I think the only thing that needs clarification, Senator Cameron, in relation to this issue, it is very, very simple. Mr Shorten confront the Australian people today and he can advise whether or not the donations that were made to Get Up and to the various Labor Party campaigns, including himself, were made in accordance with the union rules. And if they were, he can then produce the documents. If he has nothing to hide, he can clean this up today. But unfortunately, he clearly does have something to hide because he is refusing to answer these questions.
Yeah. Just like you've been refusing to answer questions, taking them on notice time and time again. Look,
is there any more? Cross-portfolio questions, Senator Cameron?
So you were not advised that the ACTU secretary was there prior to the raid. Are you aware that the ACTU offices and the AWU offices are only a few blocks apart?
Senator Cameron, you are trying to deflect from the very real situation of very serious questions that need to be answered by the man putting himself
Minister,
as the alternative Prime Minister of this country.
Minister, Senator Cameron, you have a point of order?
This is on relevance. The question I've asked the Minister is she aware that the ACTU offices and the NUW offices are only a few blocks apart? That's the only question.
Minister?
No, I'm not.
Okay, now, so I'm advised that the media became aware of this raid about 3:30. Are you absolutely certain that no one in your office contacted the media?
Senator Cameron, that is a very, very serious allegation that you are making, and I have seen a media report that Mr Albanese actually went on record, not under parliamentary privilege, I don't know when he made the statement, but stating that I had phoned the media. I can assure you that I found out about the raids as they unfolded on the television. I can also assure you that my office did not find out about the raids until after they were being conducted. It is a very serious allegation that you are making and I refute it completely. But again, Labor, I give you credit, you are very, very good at throwing mud. You are throwing mud everywhere at the moment, but the Australian people, you know, they actually ultimately see through mud and they know that Mr Shorten has very, very serious questions to answer in relation to this issue. This is the man who wants to be the alternative Prime Minister of Australia.
Sorry, Minister, point of order, Senator Cameron.
I asked a simple question. Again, it's on relevance. The standing orders that apply in the Senate apply here. The Minister should not be allowed to go into these extraneous issues.
Senator Cameron, I have given all questioners here some degree of latitude, in fact a great degree of latitude this morning, given the nature of the questions to hand, and that was not a point of order. But if you would like to make your question...
It was a point of order.
Yeah, but what was your point of order?
The point of order was relevance.
Well, I've been listening to the Minister and she does appear to be relevant to me, but if you'd like to clarify, just maybe if you restate your question, Senator Cameron, and then the Minister can answer
I'll
it
move
again.
on to another question because it's obvious the Minister is not going to answer. So can you assure the Senate that no one in your office called any media outlets about 3:30 yesterday?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So,
And quite frankly, I am offended on behalf of my staff as to those allegations. They are very serious allegations.
they're questions.
They are very serious allegations
Questions.
and I refute them. As I said though, if you want to talk about allegations, Mr Shorten has some very serious questions that he must now answer. And the more mud you throw, the Australian people, they are not stupid. They understand that Mr Shorten must answer whether or not the donations were properly authorised and what was his involvement.
Well, I think that, quite frankly, from the mud thrower in chief in the Senate for the government, you talking about anyone throwing mud is an absolute
Senator
joke.
Cameron, sorry, Senator Cameron and
so-
Minister.
so Minister,
Senator Cameron,
yeah.
just hold on. Given the tone of the discussion, what I would ask, Senator Cameron, if you've got any more questions for cross-portfolio, if you could raise them now, and
Yeah, I'm going to.
please do.
Yeah.
then we'll move on.
Minister, are you going to conduct any investigation with ROC as to where the leak came from? Because if it didn't come from your office, as you claim, then it must have either come from the Federal Police or the ROC.
Senator Cameron, I'm not claiming anything. I'm making a statement that my office did not undertake the allegation, and quite frankly, as I've stated, it is a disgraceful allegation. The ROC will actually be here in Senate estimates today, so I am sure that you can pursue this line of questioning with the Commissioner himself.
Secretary, what is the process for investigating leaks from ROC?
For the ROC?
Yeah.
They would do that internally.
Sorry, Mr.
Sorry?
Sparker, as the Minister has said, that's probably a
ROC will
question more
actually be
appropriate
here
for the ROC.
later on
It's
today.
a question I'm asking the department. The ROC would not be investigating themselves. So can you just...
If there's ever, departments run their own inquiries. They can call for external advice on potential leaks. They can refer things to the police if they are concerned about a leak. In this case, the question, if it's about the Registered Organisations Commission, that's a matter for them, and they can explain. But certainly the department wasn't aware of the raids.
Okay. Yeah, I think you've said that the department wasn't aware of the raid, but is there any role for the department in trying to establish where this leak came from?
No, not that I'm aware, Senator. We wouldn't normally have a role. Mind you, an agency could ask us to look into something as the portfolio agency responsible. So they may, for example, ask the Secretary to have an internal review.
Mm. So what, Minister, do you accept there must have been a leak from somewhere?
No, I don't, Senator Cameron.
Well, how then did the media roll up prior to the raid?
As I said, I do not know, but you can pursue that with the ROC this afternoon. And yet again, though, this is yet another desperate attempt by the Labor Party to distract from the very, very serious questions that Mr Shorten needs to answer.
Senator Cameron, this is the same question now been asked and answered several times, and you do have the opportunity to raise that with the appropriate agency, the ROC. So do you have any more questions across portfolio?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So, Minister, how can you assert there was no leak if the press were there?
Senator Cameron, I didn't say this. I said I'm not aware of a leak. The mere fact that the press were there does not mean that there was a leak. You are asserting there was a leak. So you are slinging mud to distract from the serious questions that Mr Shorten needs to answer. As I've already stated, the issue could be put to rest today if Mr Shorten simply releases documents relating to the authorisation for the donation.
Okay, I'm happy now to move on to outcome one.
Okay, there being no more cross-portfolio questions, we will